back from the AT trip, and everything didn't go according to plan. We ended up, well, I guess you'll find out when you see the videos, but we ended up doing 225 out of the 260 miles we planned. Weather was a mess, and just, you know, like a lot of times, things don't work out always the way you plan. So, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm going to do a short review of what I thought about the Bears Ears 50. Took this on the trip, as you know, if you watch the video. And I modded it some. I added some Z-packs, shoulder pack, or shoulder pouches, and the belt pockets to it. I modified a little bit just to drop some weight. But what I'm really surprised with is the way the pack carried. That pack carried better, probably, I think, than any pack I've ever had, especially for the amount of weight. You know, at some point I was definitely probably 27 to 28 pounds with food in it, because on one of the resupplies, the longer one, I think I ended up, of course I bought some extra snacks and things just to eat, so I might have been pushing 27 pounds at some point in it with water. But what I really found to be incredible to me was that that pack carried the same whether my bear canister was empty or maxed out. Picking up the pack, of course, felt differently, but once I had it on, there was literally, to me, I felt no difference in the way the pack carried with, you know, probably without all the food in it. It had to be, I don't know, I think my base weight was around 12 and a half with the bear can. So let's just call it 13 pounds total versus, 25 plus. Carried the same. Some other things I really liked about it is I did run with it some. Pack was super stable. It hugged my body very well. It stayed with me. The only thing that I felt like I needed to kind of hold on to was the shoulder pockets. When I had my flasks in there, I would generally hold those. They weren't coming out, but I don't know, it just felt like something I should do. So occasionally when I would run, I was holding those flasks. But the pack didn't shift around. It didn't move like my Z-Packs pack when I run with it. So I was very impressed with that. The other thing that really caught me by surprise was, even though it sits up against your back, no arc, it was not as hot. I was probably as hot as I am with any other pack, my Z-Packs pack or whatever. Even with the arc, it just didn't really seem to make that much of a difference, because even with the arc, that mesh on my back is still there, so you're still getting hot. It does have the airflow if you happen to get a good breeze through it with the Z-Packs pack, don't get me wrong, but the comfort, because of where I could carry the canister on the pack, it made it hands down the best pack I've carried so far. It definitely, at 35 liters, I believe is what the internal volume is. There was multiple times when I had all my summer gear in here, bear canister on here, my thin light strapped on here, this mesh packed out, and I still would have this thing just like it is right now pretty much cranked down as tight as it would go, because it just had more volume than really what I need for a summer kit. So I was very impressed with that. The roominess of this thing is incredible. It definitely worked good with my winter kit when it's colder. I kind of wish he even had a model of this maybe in the 25 to 28 liter range, that you could still have that canister carry system. That's the only, I guess, if we want to nitpick at things, if I could have it a little bit smaller capacity, get it in different materials, if I could get this in aerobic, or the new Ultra 200, that would be awesome. I'd really like this in an orange aerobic if I could get it. Like I said, or the Ultra 200 would be great. I'd really like to see how that would drop the weight on this. You could probably, I'm wondering if you couldn't get this under 20 ounces with aerobic, or with the Ultra 200. And I don't know what the weight difference is between aerobic, like the aerobic that's being used by Z-Packs now for those new Arc Airs. So aerobic of that denier versus the 210D Dyneema grid stop. So that'd be interesting to me just to see some different options in that. The only other thing I noticed is I literally got down on my trip to where I literally had maybe a ½ inch of adjustment on each side of the belt. I did get a medium. I almost originally got a small one, decided I'd get a medium, but the belts are interchangeable, so I'm potentially going to order a smaller belt. Stumbelina liked the way the thing carried so much that she's actually considering getting one of these and stopping using her Osprey Exos 48 that she has had since 2016, that she kind of pretty much swore that she was not going to ever use anything else. She may give my Arc Blast a try. It's over there. I've been scavenging some things off it. I've got a weird spot on my lumbar where I have a protrusion coming out of my back, a little like a knot almost. And I think perhaps that maybe the belt needed a little more padding, so I pulled the lumbar pad off of my Z-Packs pack, and next trip I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Again, it'll add a little more weight, but as comfortable as it is, as well as it carries, I don't care about the weight. Like I said, if I could get it in a lighter material, or a combo of lighter material and a little bit smaller capacity, like I said, you know, drop it 5, 7, maybe even 10 liters smaller internally, that would be awesome. There are some things I've still thought about removing on it just because I don't need them. Some of this daisy chain back here, but it's, you know, through here, it's integrated into the pack. I really wish some of the strappage like this, we were using a smaller, a thinner strapping with some maybe smaller clasps just to drop some weight there. I'm still on the fence about cutting the ISAX loop, not that it's really going to change that much of the weight, but I don't use it. The strap here, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with my Thin Light. You can only cinch this down so tight. Granted, I did change out the cordage and the line lock, and so that may be part of it. It doesn't hold it super taut, but I really wish this had a string with a line lock tensioning system like what's on my Z-Packs pack. I really like that better because I can cinch it down as much or as little as I want. I really think I like that better than this setup, and I may look at setting this up where I just put some string, I guess it's like a Z-line or something like that, and then kind of modify it to work. The thing I realize is that uses line locks with gross grain loops, so I potentially would really need to unsew this, sew that in to change it out. So I don't know if I'm to that point yet where I want to deconstruct the pack and maybe modify it. I guess really you could drop weight even on this one if you didn't have the extension collar were not as big, because it's got a pretty sizable extension collar. That's a lot of extra volume. So I mean, this pack, I could see, you know, for most people, you could get a lot of stuff in this, you know, 25-ounce pack. But I haven't noticed any wear on the pack. It's got some dirt, you know, the mesh is not as wide as it was when I got it. It does hold some water, you know, it gets wet. It smells terrible already. But, you know, that's kind of what happens when you get a bunch of days of rain and your pack gets wet and, you know, you're stinky. But all said and done, I think this is definitely my new go-forward pack. The Z-Packs is going to go into retirement, and this is going to be what I'm going to carry from here on out for the foreseeable future, unless I catch a wild hair and decide to try and make my own pack based off this setup and tweak it a little bit more to what I want. Or if, you know, the guys over at Nunatak will start doing a custom build on this, sign me up. I'd love to try and work with you guys and get like a custom, like I said, smaller, maybe some different materials, some tweaks here and there, maybe put some things. I know you guys they're more focused on quilts and down products, but you know, this to me, this is the ultimate bear canister carry pack. I mean, nothing else on the market can touch this that I'm aware of right now. So if you guys at Nunatak are watching, I appreciate this pack. Was great. I mean, this thing carried like a dream. Like I said, it's going to be my new go forward. So just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do carry a canister and you're looking for a pack that carries it well, check out the Nunatak Bears Ears 50. I checked earlier today, just looking at them. They're generally running them on sale, I believe, for 5% off or so. Sometimes they're a little more, I've noticed. But I think that's when they're just down to almost no stock. Maybe they're just trying to get the last couple done before they do a production run. They don't, from what I've seen, keep these in stock. They kind of get a certain number of orders in an amount of time, then they do a production run and ship all those out. I think the next shipping is like July 15th for orders that people have already made that were available. So once that run ships out, I think they open up it again for more orders. So if you guys are interested, I'll put a link down in the description to the webpage for the Nunatak Bears Ears 50. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys up to date.